Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. In this video, I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders and announcements for July 14th, 2023. Now keep in mind release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links to the titles listed in this video when they are live can be found on the channel's community page. Well, it looks like Universal is taking a break from their last-minute 4K and Blu-ray announcements, so we actually have a release date for the latest Fast and Furious film, Fast X, and that date will be August 8th. It will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. And don't forget, there is a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook only available at that retailer, which is currently up for pre-order, and Walmart is carrying an exclusive edition of their own, only available on their website. The retailer exclusives are expected to be in stores on release day, but of course, you can order for shipping. In a previous 4K pre-order video from a couple weeks back, Universal had a couple of 4K releases scheduled for August 22nd. Well, now we have artwork and the pre-orders are now live. For Promising Young Woman, that is expected to arrive on August 22nd. Now, we don't have official tech specs yet, but going based off the iTunes, I think HDR and Dolby Atmos are a lock. No word yet if they're going to have Dolby Vision included. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. And also on the same day, Elizabeth, starring Cate Blanchett, is arriving, and we do have the official artwork and the pre-order is live. Tech specs are even a little bit more vague on this one, but I fully expect to see HDR, no word yet on the audio. In last week's video, there was a tentative release date for the 4K release of The Blackening from Lionsgate. Well, now it is official, as August 22nd is going to be the release date. It will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. There was also some ambiguity if this is going to be a wide release or an exclusive to a retailer. Well, now we have the answer, as this is going to be available at all online retailers. And of course, Best Buy won't be skipping out on the fun, as they're offering an exclusive Steelbook edition of the film, currently up for pre-order over on their website. Warner Brothers has officially dated that The Flash on 4K is coming, and that date will be August 29th. Tech specs include HDR and Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos audio. What you see pictured here is going to be the standard edition available at your most major retailers. There will also be a few retailer exclusives to go over. Best Buy, of course, will have a Steelbook edition only available there, and Walmart will be carrying an exclusive edition of their own. Both of these exclusives are expected to arrive in stores on release day. And Sony quietly announced that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse on 4K is going to be arriving September 5th. Tech specs include HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. A standard edition will be available at all your major retailers. And don't forget, the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook will be available there on release day. Now, I'm a little surprised we didn't get an exclusive for Walmart, but Amazon has a double feature of both Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, only available at Amazon.com. Steven Spielberg's film Duel on 4K has finally been confirmed, and the release date for that will also be September 5th. Now, we are expecting HDR and, surprisingly enough, a Dolby Atmos audio mix. There will be a standard edition available everywhere. And as far as Steelbooks go, it looks like Groove got the jump on an exclusive only available at that particular website. The pre-order listing for the standard edition has not yet gone live. I expect that to be updated very soon, but the 4K edition over at Groove is currently active. With the upcoming Expendables 4 getting ready to arrive in theaters, Lionsgate is re-releasing the first three films as Best Buy exclusive Steelbooks. The release date will be September 5th, and these have the same tech specs as their prior 4K editions. These are available individually, so head on over to Best Buy and secure your copies. In a little bit of a surprise move, Paramount is going to be releasing Halloween H2O on 4K as a standalone edition. If you recall, this was only available on 4K as part of a 3-movie collection from Shout Factory Scream Factory, and I'm actually pretty excited now that it's coming out as an individual title. Now, no word yet on tech specs, but given this is Paramount, I expect the same HDR and Dolby Vision transfer included on the Shout release, and probably the same DTS audio. Stay tuned to the channel in the coming weeks for official tech specs and artwork, and I will post it here in a future update. The 4K edition of Transformers Rise of the Beast is officially coming on October 10th. HDR and Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos will be included for this release. I've got to say, I'm not the biggest fan of Paramount's home release strategy of new theatrical titles. Really, the digital just dropped a few days ago, and us physical media collectors have to wait 3 months for it to arrive in our shelves. So, yeah, it is what it is. I guess you got to make those digital dollars somehow. But a standard edition, of course, will be available everywhere, and a non-exclusive steelbook. Both will be released on October 10th. Speaking of Paramount, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning on 4K already has an active pre-order listing for both a slipcover and a non-exclusive steelbook. It is expected to support HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. Now, while we don't have an official release date, if I'm going to guess, I would say this will arrive no earlier than November, December. Going back to the Transformers release just mentioned a few moments ago, I would expect this to arrive probably just in time for Christmas, so I don't anticipate the physical release to come out in the new year. I'd be very surprised if it did, but stay tuned to the channel. When I have an updated release date, I will share it with you. Paramount is also releasing a 4K edition of one of my favorite Christmas movies, Scrooged. We don't have tech specs, but given this is Paramount, HDR and Dolby Vision are to be expected, and no word yet on the audio. I always have fond memories of this one, and a good childhood friend of mine was featured as an extra sitting almost right next to Bill Murray in the audience scene. Anyway, we don't have an official release date, but of course expect this one to come out sometime before Christmas. Another great comedy from the 80s, Trading Places, starring Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, is coming from Paramount sometime in 2023. I expect this also to arrive probably before Christmas. And we don't have tech specs, of course, but once again, stay tuned to the channel. When all that updated information becomes available, I will include it in a future video. Paramount is also anticipated to release Terms of Endearment on 4K sometime in the coming months. Believe it or not, I've actually never seen this one. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I will be checking it out once it hits 4K. A couple of Kino Lorber upcoming 4K releases were announced this past week, and the 4K edition of The Boogans is coming sometime in the next year. I definitely did not have this one on my 4K bingo card, so I'm pretty excited to check it out whenever Kino decides to release it. And also, the film Prime Cut is coming on 4K from Kino. This is another film I've been anticipating to watch, so I am looking forward to checking these out from Kino in the coming months. There are a couple of international 4K pre-orders and announcements to go over in this week's video, and don't forget, most 4K discs are region-free. Over in the UK, the HMV website will have a few Mad Max exclusives arriving in the coming months. First up, August 21st, the original Mad Max will be available as a collector's edition. And the Road Warrior will be arriving on September 4th. Of the 3 artworks featured, I actually prefer this one. This is kind of a cool looking image. And finally, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome will arrive on September 18th. Once again, all 3 of these are HMV website exclusives, so head on over there to secure your copies. Over in France, on November 29th, a 4K edition of Les Samurai is arriving sometime in that market. Now, while this is getting me personally excited, is because I fully expect Criterion to make this a 4K announcement of their own, probably for either the November or December announcement slate. So I think this is pretty cool. I can't wait to check it out. If you've never seen the film, I highly recommend you do so. Also in France, but we don't have an official release date, a 4K edition of the film The Host will be arriving. In Germany, a 4K edition of the film Magdalena, Possessed by the Devil will be arriving sometime in the coming months. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 4K pre-orders are starting to go live internationally as well. In addition to the standard edition and steelbook featured at Best Buy, there will also be a unique steelbook only available, it looks like, in the UK. That could very well change, but it looks like, as of right now, it is listed over at the Zavi website. So if you live over in the UK, feel free to pre-order your copy now. So those are this week's 4K pre-orders and announcements for July 14th, 2023. Don't forget, if you're interested in any of the titles I listed in this video when they are active, head on over to the channel's community page and use the affiliate link. It really does help out the channel. And also, let me know what you plan on picking up that I talked about in this video. And finally, a special thank you to my Patrons. Your continued support is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.